Hi everyone, it's Chloe. So I'm back again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about trans-attracted men and the kind of men that I've encountered so far, and kind of some of my frustrations with all of that. Just a little preface before we start the video. Some of what I'll be talking about is not necessarily appropriate for all audiences, so if you're a young child or you don't want to watch a video about trans women and some of their special treatment and other things, then stop watching now, or if you're interested, just keep on watching. So, trans-attracted men. I think that a lot of men out there are attracted to trans women, and not as many of them are open about it. My experience so far has been not the best with men. Some men have treated me, really great, and, I'm from Texas, I'm from the South, so I kind of expect a certain way of being treated. I look for a gentleman, I look for someone who's chivalrous, I look for someone who is going to treat me like a lady, and a lot of the men that I've encountered who are trans-attracted or straight with a, secret trans attraction have not been that way at all. And it's frustrating. And this is not to say that all men who are attracted to trans women or straight men who might have, an interest in trans women, and I say straight men who have an interest, I don't think that most men who are attracted to trans women are gay. So, going back to that, men who are attracted to trans women or have a secret attraction to trans women, not all of them are like that. Not all of them have, or treat trans women like I've kind of been treated by some of the men recently. So, and I hope one day I'll find one of those gentlemen. That would be great. But yeah, so this is kind of when it gets into the stuff that isn't necessarily the most appropriate to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because I want to be honest with you guys and just let you know my experience so far with men. So I said in the last video that I had downloaded a Tinder, and I've since deleted it, like I said, and I mean, I don't know if that's something that I should have expected from men on Tinder, but I put on my profile, I'm a transgender woman, please don't talk to me if you're not a gentleman, I'm interested in someone who's kind, courteous, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Basically, like, weirdos, people who are looking just for sex, all of that, just leave me alone, don't talk to me. And I was getting quite a few matches, and I would say about 75% of the men that I matched would message me and say, oh, you're trans, right? And I said, yes, it says that on my profile. And then they would say, well, how big's your dick? Or, do you still have a penis? Or, are you interested in topping? And it's not, I'm not going to say that all trans girls aren't interested in those questions or that kind of treatment, but for me, my whole downstairs situation is something that I experience a lot of dysphoria about. So when it comes to that kind of relationship, or, when it comes to, a certain point when you're dating someone and having, intimate times, I'm not very comfortable with all of that down there. Some women are, and good for them, that's great, but I experience a lot of dysphoria about that. So when men ask me that question, it ticks me off because, one, like I said, I don't like to talk about it. I don't like to tell people how big it is. It irks me. And so, like I said, I want someone who's going to be a gentleman, and for me to experience, like, constant, like, oh, have you had your surgery? Oh, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's certain ways to ask a question, I think, and that, I mean, just right off the bat asking, like, do you still have one? How big is it? All of that. Like, it's frustrating, and it's disgusting to me. And not to say that I haven't experienced some great guys, because I have. I mean, I had probably 4 really great guys who were just into it for the conversation and gentlemen, and it was like after a few days of talking, then they kind of got onto the subject, gracefully and all of that, and just talking about my interests and not my body, and not classifying me or putting me in a box just because of what my pre-op or post-op status is. And I think that's how men should treat trans women. I think I've said frustrating about 17 times in this video, but that's kind of what I am. I could wear a name tag right now that says frustrated, because a lot of men, and I said it in the beginning, there are a lot of men who are secretly attracted to trans women. And for me, I couldn't deal with that. Back when I was living as a man, I had, a lot of boyfriends who were still in the closet, and I hate being kept a secret. I hate feeling like I have to hide myself, because I've hidden myself so much all of my life. I mean, my identity of who I am, and it's not something that I want to do anymore. So having men who are only interested in me because of sex but wouldn't take me out in public, or wouldn't take me on a date, or wouldn't, introduce me to their friends or their family, I'm not interested. I'm not about the secret life. I'm not about being a mistress. I'm not about being someone who is a secret, period. And, I mean, trans women are pretty taboo to men, still. And I had a conversation with one of my really, really good friends who's also trans, and she had said that, back, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, trans women weren't really visible sexually to men before. And with the porn industry kind of booming, and I hate this term, but shemale porn kind of being one of the highest growing sections of the porn industry, men have a lot more access to that, and that it's becoming, a little more visible to them. So they can build up that fantasy about trans women, and some men keep that a secret, and that's all they want trans women for, is sexual pleasure. And for me, at least, because I only speak for myself, that's not necessarily something I want to get into. I want to be taken on dates. I want to be, out for drinks, or going dancing, or, fun stuff, like even outdoor things. I enjoy all of those things. I don't want to be just kind of okay, I'm going to spend an hour with you and I'm done until I need you next, but what you need doesn't really matter. So, again, just frustrated. So guys, thanks for tuning in and listening to me rant about men and my frustrations with them. Comment below if you have any frustrations with men and being transgender. But that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, subscribe, like, and I will see you guys next time.